All right, what's up, y'all? Tim Ream here. I am on day 10 of 75 hard. You got to do two 45-minute workouts. One of them has to be outside. I already did the outside portion for 45 minutes. And I do a split. With legs, I do an AM session and a PM session. In the mornings, with the equipment that I have, I do quads. And then at the PM session, I do the hamstrings. I'm going to go right into it. The quad workout's pretty brief and infrequent, but I can really focus and really blast them, you know, if I break them up into a smaller time frame. Anyways, I'm going to throw abs in there too. I'm going to put abs at the beginning of the workout. I feel like if I put them there, then I can really give them the focus that I want to, versus if I put the abs at the end after I've already gave my entire workout my all, and then I want to do abs. It's just like I'll end up taking it easy on the abdominals. So I'm going to do the abs first, and then I'll get into the leg routine. Just going to do some rest pause. I'm going to do as many abs crunches as I can on the decline, rest for 10 seconds. Then I'm going to, do as many as I can. I'm going to do that for like 5 or 6 sets, and I'm going to call that good. One thing I would like to bring up about the abdominals, and then like if you're trying to get good abs, like there's going to be a dietary aspect to it. If you think that you're going to get abs without having some sort of idea of where your caloric intake is or whatever, like it's just not going to happen. I lived under that delusion for a very long time. I thought, well, I can go to the gym, work really hard, and then come home and eat like shit, and it's going to end up, being okay one day. Like it's just gonna, I'm gonna magically appear with abs. But the thing is, usually you'll go to the gym, work really hard, and then you say, I worked really hard, now I can eat as much as I want. And you're just gonna blow your calories way out of proportion, way over maintenance range. So the thing is, unless you actually get a beat on where you're supposed to be calorically, it just ain't probably gonna happen unless you just somehow do it by chance. But even if you do it by chance, it's going to be because you are below a maintenance, your maintenance range of calories accidentally, right? So it's just going to be an aspect that's part of it. It just goes with the territory, right? All right, so I'm going to hop over here on abs and then start working into this here.
Teach you the lesson and embrace them so that you can be better. Because, dude, we can talk about and whine about and cry about everything in our lives, but there's only one thing that's going to change it, and that's actually taking action towards the place that you want to go. And I don't care who says different. This is a universal truth, and it doesn't matter who's president, doesn't matter who's fucking won the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. This is always going to be true. What you put in will produce the output. Okay? So when you see a situation that's difficult, and you see a situation that other people don't want to do, you should maybe be the person who steps up to that and says, dude, I'm willing to do that because I learned this. I'm willing to take on that because I'm willing to get this skill. I'm going to endure this adversity because I know it's going to make me stronger. All right? So look at these as an opportunity for you to grow, as opposed to something that you should run away from because it's going to be difficult. This is something that champions and successful people who are great at what they do and live great lives that bring other people up, do automatically. Okay? So that's the first step. Embrace your adversity and look for opportunities to get better and grow. Now, the second thing I think is going to resonate with a lot of you guys. Dude, a lot of you guys, for lack of better terms, you got no swag. Okay? And what I mean by that is this. It's not that you don't, it's that you're too afraid to show it. All right? You let people humble you to death. What does that mean? You guys
go as many as I possibly can, wait for about 10 seconds, and then go to failure. While I'm doing this, I'm finding the exact range where it's like constant tension. There's like a mid-range in there where it's, not fully up like I am now or fully back where I'm resting, but I stay in that tension zone, and I try to flex my abs the entire time. It really gives you a good squeeze and a good burn. All right.
Or when you start making progress, like a lot of you guys, in your fitness journey, you see people, you start to make progress, and you have people kind of hate on it passively, right? Oh, you're getting all serious about that health jump now. Well, yeah, no shit, motherfucker, because it's important. Or you start to have a little success in your business, and people start telling you, oh, Andy thinks he's hot shit now, blah, blah, blah. Okay, these are what I'm talking about. It's crabs in a bucket, all right? And you guys allow a lot of the people that you connect with and you allow in your life to pull you down because you feel obligated to hearing their opinion or
we're talking about high intensity training.
Maybe it's your
We're talking about pushing those muscle groups to failure.
Maybe it's your girlfriend.
And you only got to do it once in order to stimulate that growth, but the abs are no different. Like, I still try to take those to failure the best I can because, well, yeah, I still try to take abs to failure. And I feel like if I do rest pause, then I'm collapsing the amount of time, right? And I'm bringing that intensity level higher, right? So I'm trying to keep its time under tension. I'm trying to collapse that time to where the intensity is built up more than, you know, if I'm taking, 5 sets or however many sets over, a longer period of time. I feel like I shock the muscle better.
Area is a great thing. And when people start to see you win and they start trying to pull you back, that's a good indication of people that you should probably work to separate from, because those are the people who are going to draw energy off of you that could otherwise be spent moving you forward. All right? So guys, don't let these people who haven't achieved anything, who have no goals, who are happy floating through life, and by the way, if that's them, that's cool. You don't have to want what they want, and they don't have to want what you want. But if you want to win and you want to be successful, you cannot let other people talk you out of believing in yourself under the guise of quote unquote being humble. All right? And I see a lot of you guys do this. You think humility is a great core value or place to be, and it is. It is. And here's why. Why is humility important? Because when you know you ain't shit, you keep working. When you know that you don't know shit, you keep learning. When you know you're not that good, you keep working to get good. So it's important to stay humble for the reason of growth. But that can be counterproductive if you're hearing it from all these different people that you're supposed to love and trust, and they're all telling you to get back in line and shut the fuck up. You people who listen to that stuff will never win. You will humble yourself to death. Okay? So those are my 2 points I want you guys to think about this week. One, all right, embrace the challenge, embrace the adversity. Stop looking at it as something you need to run from and start looking at it as what can I learn. And 2, stop letting your surroundings and the culture and the people you surround.
See, the thing is, like, I could have a more extensive abdominal workout, but it's going to be the dietary aspect that's going to be the biggest, really. Like, unless I get that down, I don't give a shit if I've got the biggest, most conditioned abs ever. If I'm eating a lot of food and I'm packing on the pounds still, what the hell does it matter? So I'm really doing it more. I'm trying to focus more on my diet to bring my body fat down. And so it's going to make the abs more visible, and this is just more toning and doing a little bit of strength conditioning. I could do more core just because it'd bring up some of my other lifts, but the dietary aspect is going to be the biggest. If you don't think that you're going to get abs without having a dietary aspect, you're delusional, just like I was whenever I thought I was going to. You can't outwork a bad diet. If I'm eating 7,000 calories a day and I'm only expending 4 or 3, it's just never gonna add up. It's not gonna be okay one day. It's not just gonna somehow magically happen. That's also a common mistake with a lot of people is they go to the gym, they think, oh, I worked really hard today, I can eat whatever I want. I deserve it, a little pat on the back, but really you're just shooting yourself in the foot because you're actually just adding so many calories, your body can't possibly work it off. It just mathematically isn't possible. But there's one other aspect too, that you can actually time out fat loss to the month, to the day, to the week, right? And it's actually a mathematical certainty. So say my maintenance range of calories is like, 2,500 calories. Like if I go below those 500 calories, then I'm in a calorie deficit, right? So that's 500 calories. Well, 5 times 7 days, that's 3,500. That's 3,500 calories. Well, that's what a pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So now, within 10 weeks, I can lose 10 pounds at a negative 500 calorie deficit. And then if I throw extra activity in there, just like, extra steps every day and I'm working out, it's a high protein diet versus a higher diet in carbohydrates, like I'm gonna lose that fat. And yeah, you can time it right out to the month, to the week, to the day, man. And that's something I never knew. I'm like, how in the hell did they do it? It was so mysterious to me. But whenever I actually said, you know what, let me just go to somebody who's got the abs, like let me figure out how they do this shit and let me actually start to learn to master this aspect of my health and nutrition. Boom, dude, the entire world opened up to me on that. Not the entire world, but just the dietary aspect and everything. All right, so got abdominals, all those short. It was brief. Whatever, we've got them out of the way. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna start doing quads. We're gonna do some leg extension, some squats, and then go back to leg extension. But the whole goal is to take all of the actual exercises. I guess there's like 4 or 5 exercises I'm gonna do, all of them to failure on that last set. Do a couple warm-up sets and then one just all-out failure set. So let's get started.
Other times we have real talk usually comes out on Thursdays.
I'm pretty sure I've lost like almost 3 pounds at this point now. I started out about 180, I'm like 177 right now. And I think I even probably had a little bit of water weight there too, but sometimes it's hard to actually tell if you're losing weight because you got water weight, you ate the night before or whatever, like, sometimes the best way to actually measure your progress is to actually have a tape measure. And, take measurements of your waist and everything. And visual wise too, you look in the mirrors like, yeah, I can see my abdominals coming in even more. Sometimes you're sacrificing a little bit of fat and body weight, but you're also putting on muscle. And so, the scale isn't always your best indicator of whether you're making progress or not. It's probably just visuals and, measurements, which I don't do a lot. I just know I'm at my under my maintenance range of calories right now, so I know I'm dropping weight, and I can just visually see it too. So this next, I don't know, whatever it is, almost 10 weeks, about 10 weeks, 9 weeks now, it's gonna be super good right at the end. I put it right out at like my birthday too, the end of 75 hard, so it's like gonna be a good birthday present to myself to be in the best shape that I've ever been in my life. So pretty proud of it. It's like that one extra thing that I needed just to make myself more complete. I've never been to the point where I had the 6-pack and just ripped as fuck, but now I've got the knowledge in order to be able to obtain that stuff, whereas before I didn't. So just a good feeling, man.
All right, what's up, man? What's going on? Oh, not much. Yeah. What's up with you?
Cracking open that bougie success water.
That's right.
You just think bougie?
Bougie.
Oh, bougie.
Yeah, booty water.
Yeah, bougie water.
Yeah.
Oh, this is bougie water. Yeah, what's going on with you, man? Happy Monday.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how many people put their New Year's resolution already. I wonder how many listeners did. I wonder how many of the people.
They wouldn't tell you if they did.
I know they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
That's the thing.
Yeah, they just keep. Now they're going to start the cycle back up again, where they keep telling each other.
I'm gonna do about 4 warm-up sets here, just because my knees have taken a beating over the years, and do a few more warm-up sets with lightweight. Then it's like I've, got them warmed up. So, kind of the older I've gotten, I've just made sure I've, gave a few of my body parts like knees and my shoulders enough warm-up time at the beginning of the exercises to progress safely. An injury will put you out for a while, man, and it's best to just prevent them, or if you feel something going on, then just work around them until you feel a little stronger.
Gratification mentality is so prevalent in our society that people get frustrated when they have to do anything that is even minorly inconvenient, and they seek comfort and they look for the easy way, and they look for the way that's going to be the most convenient right now, and totally disregard what the cost of that is. They don't think like, oh man.
Last week, actually it's been a week since I did quads. Last week I did hamstrings here at home, and it was going to work out at Planet Fitness on quads. and then ended up just doing some cardio. So, and honestly, I've been in probably about 6 weeks of doing like 2-a-days, 3 on, 1 off, 3 on, 1 off with AM and PM sessions. And it's just gotten too much. I can see my strengths went down a little bit. So this last week here, I've kind of taken a break on some of those exercises. Like I didn't do arms, I didn't do the quads. So just give listening to my body, give my body a little bit more of a break whenever it's asking for it. And I'll probably start rotating muscle groups too. Like instead of doing like, I don't know, like I'll do the entire routine for a whole week, and then on the next week, I'll like drop one of those muscle groups out, and just replace it with a cardio session and start rotating my body parts and giving each body part a rest every every other week or every week or something. So, but that's thanks to the training log. The training log's pretty much telling me everything I need to know. Hey dude, you're getting weaker in this exercise when you should be getting stronger. You probably need more rest in between workouts. So, good to take feedback like that, and that's what I'm doing. You gotta be pretty intuitive with your workouts, man, and listening to your body. It's just, the older you get, man, the better you get at it, I would suspect. At least I have.
This shit ain't that hard. Like, this is really easy stuff that will build your life into a tremendously beneficial and fulfilling and quite frankly, an existence that you're proud of, that we skip out on a daily basis, and then the price that we pay is immense. It's massive, because it costs us everything. It costs us the whole quality of life, and that's the point of the Live Hard program and 75 Hard. That's why I wrote 75 Hard. That's why I wrote the book on mental toughness, because people need to understand that if you could just adjust a few things about yourself, you can have everything you want. There becomes no trade-off now. Now there's no trade. Because once you get to that place where things are comfortable when you're uncomfortable, what's the trade?
I was kind of talking about this yesterday, but if you're coming in here on this, high intensity workout stuff, and you're pushing your max on every single workout, every single time that you come into the gym, you get to the point where it's like, fuck, dude, I gotta go in there and do that again. It can be fucking grueling. And so it's just, for me, if I mix it up on the rep ranges, mix it up on the weight a little bit, but still take that last one to failure, and even mixing up a different exercise and throwing that in the mix, one you're excited about, can make all the difference, dude. And being excited for your workouts versus just pounding yourself into the ground consistently every day, So just changing up rep ranges, but still taking it to failure, because that's the vital aspect about it. But it can just make a difference mentally and just with longevity too.
15-20 years down the line, bro, having to pay hospital bills.
Bro, if you're 100 pounds overweight right now, what are you gonna be in 20 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're in your 20s, dude, and you're 100 pounds, you're gonna be 300 pounds overweight by the time you're 40. Are you ready for that life? Are you ready to walk through life like having to ride the car around Walmart and shit? Are you ready not being able to fit in a chair? Are you ready to be looked at and gawked at and feel weird everywhere? Because everybody is looking at you, because you're 4 times the size of an actual other human beings. Like, that's a whole other thing to get on. This fat acceptance shit, where these people think that they can go to the airport and get 2 seats because they can't stop themselves from gorging their faces.
Everybody else got to pay for it.
Yeah, and then we got to deal, and then like when we notice that the size is 5 communities, and we know
Feeling good with the knees. I'm gonna bump up weight. I'm gonna do one more weighted set and then move into my max set. That the bit of cardio that I did earlier helped get my legs a little loosened up, so I don't feel like I've got to be extensive with the warm up. This time.
There's the thin people, the virtue signaling bruncher moms who have a wealthy husband and drive the BMW. They might believe your shit because they never been fat. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been a fat motherfucker. Yeah,
this what Andy's talking about right now. Like, I found myself at that place. Like, I just come out of a rehab. I was still on preventive maintenance drugs. I'd got a job and I'd started to rebuild my life, but I was eating my feelings. I was living a pretty sedentary lifestyle, coming off of a back surgery. Found myself at like 215 and was like, dude, looked in the mirror, it's just like, bro, like if you don't stop this right here, it's going to get really bad, dude, in the next year or two. And it was just like, you know, just a realization, like, even though this is going to be hard to transition and start working out and doing everything I know I should be doing, like the alternative is just going to be far, far worse. So, you know, sometimes you just got to project in the future. Which road is this going to lead and which one's that going to lead? You say 2 years from now, dude, fuck that, bro. So it's like really kind of what he's talking about is what prompted the transition in me, because I knew it just wasn't going anywhere good. And it can be hard to make that pivot, but it's like, there's that saying that says, whenever the pain of change, whenever the pain of staying the same overcomes the pain of change, then you will change. And that's where I was at, man. All right, we'll do this last warm-up set and then get into the heavy set.
Yeah, and I love people trying to pretend like they're a protective class. Like you can't just, dude, you are the way you are because you don't got enough for yourself. Yeah, including yourself. If you really love yourself, fix it. I don't ever hear someone who was 400 pounds gets down to like a low weight and gets their body together say, man, I wish I had done that. Never fought, never, not one. Same thing with rich people. You never hear rich people say, man, I wish I had made all that money. That's what that's like, they want you to believe it.
I didn't push that one to failure, but I definitely introduced the burn pretty good. I'll usually on that last set, before the one that I go to failure, I'll push it pretty close to where it's like, okay, if I keep going, I'm going to start getting into that point where I'm really pushing myself. So I'll kind of dig into it a rep or two and then cut off right there, introduce the burn, got good mind and the muscle connection, squeeze, all that stuff, and then it's kind of got me warmed up intermuscularly and mentally to go into that heavy set. So, yeah, pretty good one there. And I took that week off too, so I do feel better. And you know, sometimes just that little bit of rest, like if you're hitting plateaus, it's like, man, I haven't gotten strong in a minute. Well, it's because you're overworking, dude. Like, dude, take a week off and then come back in here and you'll notice, like, that's exactly what you needed.
You better not get close to him.
All right.
I'll still this car tires.
Jiu-jitsu master over.
Let me go up 5 pounds on this. I can probably do more, but I'm not trying to. The weird thing about these exercises and these machines is if I go up in weight too much, then I'm going to max the entire machine out. So I'm just kind of steadily working up just like 5 pounds at a time. I figure I got about 2 years of leg workouts on this thing before I'm just totally maxed out on it. So, you know, I'm trying to play in the long game a little bit with these weight stacks and all that shit. So, yeah, all right. So last time I did 115 for 25. I'm going to do 120 for as many as I possibly can here. So let's get into it. And this is the set we're going to go to complete failure and beyond if I can. And this is the important set. This is the set that's going to stimulate the growth that we're after. So, all right.
We're not going to hit that. And so, like, this is the big problem with a lot of the movements and causes and really political division that's going on right now is that people think that we can't get unity because we'll never be able to I'll never unify with one of the ketos. No shit, you're not supposed to. That's them and we're us. The rest of us are supposed to unify, and there's hundreds of millions of common sense Americans aligned with the ideologies that are driving what's going on in the culture. And understand that there's good people and bad people of every race. There's good people of every race and bad people. You know, you mentioned something to me when I was talking about the that were done in New York City. Some of the Jewish people allegedly with kids. And they were like, well, what about Catholic priests? Yeah, I agree. In the wood chipper. You know, right with them. Anybody, I don't care care what race, I don't care what religion, I don't care.
You do not belong in our society.
Correct. And it doesn't matter what race or if they're Catholic or white or black or I don't care. Straight into the wood chipper, dude. And that's.
And honestly, I'm talking about taking that week off on quads. Actually, whenever you got that rest and you come back in here, you actually feel stronger. It's more motivating. You're more reinvigorated. And there's a difference. And there's a difference in, you know, like I'm pushing this set. My last set I did 10, so my goal is to beat that this time. And I get to, you know, 8, and then I've got to power through and struggle mentally to get that 10th and the 11th one. There's an aspect like that where you're beating your max. But what I'm talking about is whenever you are trying to beat your last previous record of 10 and you get to 9 and you're like, dude, I'm fucking stronger. And you push back like to 12 and 13 or 14 and you actually realize your body is actually stronger rather than you trying to power through it mentally. And those are the types of gains and strength increases that I'm talking about. If you've got enough rest, you'll be able to tell a clear distinction in I had to push through this mentally, or my body actually really did get stronger. And you're like, whoa, I'm stronger on that. I feel better. So, you know, just throwing a rest day in there, a couple of rest days can really make the difference, man. Because at that point, you're messing with an all new weight and putting an all new stress on your body. All right, we'll go over here while I'm all pumped and got my legs good and blood in them. I'm gonna go straight up over here to squats. And what I'm doing is I'm pre-exhausting the quad before I move over into the squats and, you know, and pre-exhausting the quads, yeah. So it's just all about that time under tension and collapsing all the time and all the movements into a pretty frequent, brief, and infrequent type of, I guess, just shock and awe on that muscle group you're looking to work. So give it just a couple more seconds and then move into it. And keep that pump, get the pump, and then keep it. Before it runs out, move into the next set or the next exercise. And just try to keep that until the entire workout is done. I'm telling you, if you do that for, you know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, it's all you need.
If we're going to break this down into pure sexual attraction, which is what we're talking about here, are you really going to be attracted to long term some supplicating support system dude who waits on you hand and foot? Or are you going to be attracted to somebody who has ambition, has goals, is a kick-ass motherfucker, and is out building their own thing? Because what it seems to me is you're fishing in the wrong pond. You're fishing in the pond of losers when you should be fishing in the pond of people who have their own things going on, who you're going to be attracted to, who you are going to be into. And the reason you're going to be into them is because they are a challenge for you to get their attention. Because you are a woman, and since the time of purity, you have had every single dude that you have ever known who has claimed to be friends with you secretly wanting to have sex with you. This is the reality of being a woman. The reality of being a man is we have to hunt and kill and chase and cheat and become
that workout
sexually desirable.
Still hard as hell on my knees.
Completely different life that a lot of you women don't understand.
Probably get a little inflammation or something going on. My diet hasn't changed, but what it is, probably that extra cardio before doing this. Probably ain't helping any. I've got a book and it's like rebuilding your body or rebuild from broken or something like that. And it talks how to build your knees back up and your joints and ligaments and basically restore different parts of your body. And I said the main thing about the knees is if they're hurting, you're probably not even working them at the right angle. Like if you put a joint in a bind and you work it like that, if your skeletal system's off, it's going to throw your joints off. And if you're working it at a weird angle, that's usually the number 1 cause of joint pain. So I'm trying to be conscious of working it at the right angle. So I probably haven't. Through my back surgery, I've gotten to the point where, you know, I can't bend fully with my back, so I've got to like arch my knee out to pick stuff up. Dude, that started giving me joint pain in my knee. So after a couple of years of that, it's like now I've not got knee stuff going on. But all right, let's go to the second set here.
You as a dude, when you just chase the wheel to supplicate. He's not a bitch.
They're not marrying me.
They don't like the asshole. They just can't figure it out, so they think they can come and figure it out. It doesn't work either. And then they end up bitching about it with their brunch bitches.
Then he's on child support.
Yeah. So we have to understand. You have to be. Women are attracted to men. They are not attracted to men that smell and look and behave like women. They are attracted to men. That is a masculine thing. Men are attracted to women. They are attracted to the feminine, the soft, the nurturing, the opposite of what they're supposed to be. They're the opposite. Okay, and so you get these men who want to be the partner to go to Taylor Swift, and then they can't understand why women won't want to have sex with them. Okay?
Yeah, I fucking hate squats, dude.
Here, look, this is the best.
The only reason I'm doing them, I do feel them on my quads because I'm pre-exhausted with leg extension. But really, it's just like a good movement for core stability, strength, and just like a whole top to bottom muscle stimulus for the entire body. It's also a little bit of a power movement, so even though it doesn't like give me some sort of like isolated feeling on that muscle group I'm looking to work, it gives me that other stimulus too, and just kind of weighing the options like, okay, that's something I need for everyday strength too, so I added in there. It's not like barbell squat. This is more focused because I'm in the groove that only the machine allows, but you know, you're still pushing that weight, so.
Men fit up, women fit up, but we have to examine the.
Let's see what my last max on this was.
And what we want and what we actually want. And what this woman actually wants is a badass motherfucker with his own shit going on that she can be motivated from observing him. Okay? And a challenge to get his time.
Is 240.
But what she said,
240 for, I think actually it was 17 is what I got last week. So do
those are conflicting ideas. Your dude
yeah, we'll just,
you're going to be attracted to that you're looking for is going to have his own shit going on, and you're going to have.
Yeah, I'll put a 10 on.
And if you were a woman who didn't have her own shit going on, then your role would be to support him in other ways, and vice versa. But like, it doesn't really work vice versa because women are never attracted to men that don't provide. It's not reality. It's a fake thing. That's a feminism narrative. The dad bod bullshit. No women are attracted to dad bod. No, not for real. If they are, it's because they're insecure and they don't know what to do. They're going around and traveling the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things here. But like, real talk here, you don't need somebody to motivate you. You need somebody with their own shit going on who you're going to be attracted to because they have goals and they have ambitions and they are a badass just like you are. So stop fishing in the wrong pond. Start fishing the right one.
It's real shit, man. Guys, Eddie. At Caleb Young 3098. Hey Eddie, I'm 24 years old and I've been listening to you since 2018. I am currently working with my family at FEC. We bought a little over a year ago. My dad's been working in the industry his whole life, so I feel that I have a big grasp of the base of working FECs. We've managed to completely change the reputation of the business, and I know that I've been an integral part of that, especially with the culture of customer service, training staff, with our younger employees. So I was a normal employee working for my own sister, but was quickly promoted to assistant GM after the previous one decided to move on. Even though I'm working hard, I can't shake the feeling of everything being handed to me because of my family. Any advice on how to manage that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's, first of all, you're 24. Second of all, you probably did have a little bit of preference because of your family, and that's okay. That's why your family did that. They did all that work so you have this opportunity. But the way you go around this, because I have lots of generation business owners come to me with the same concern. I'm like, man, I always feel weird because I really build this. And I said, okay, so what do you think your job is? What do you think your role is? Your role in this situation is to take this business that has already existed. People are always going to say, shit handed to them. Who cares? They say, all right? In fact, you were with me when I met one of the most famous people on the...
Get that belt off.
And this was the
Let that diaphragm breathe.
He said,
I'm
no one takes me
gonna move pretty quick
the son of a multi-
into the leg extensions again. I'm gonna do a double to failure, and I'm gonna go right to singles to failure. You know, time under tension, collapsing that time brings the intensity. You ain't gotta do it a lot. Just stimulate growth. Enough rest, nutrition. In between the next time I work out is what's gonna do it. I don't grow in the gym. All I do is kick the growth mechanism into gear here in the gym, and I grow at home with the right rest, nutrition, and all of that stuff. All right, drop weight on this and get into it. Record my last max, which I went up, let's say 1 rep and then 10 pounds on squat there. You got you're 17 or 18 reps on that.
Than what my parents were able to do. Okay, so your responsibility now as a 24-year-old man is to become the best version of yourself, to kick ass with your business, respect.
Do these slow and deliberate.
Parents have built, and then take it and build it into something that they could have never done in the time that they were allowed to work on the business, and make them proud of what you did with the business. Make it your own. Make this next phase of growth Caleb's phase, to where it's 1,000 times. Okay? You probably still have some people say you got to inherit it. You'll know where you got it, and you'll know where you took it, and that's what ultimately matters. We can't control where we start in life. We can control where we take it. And a lot of people are born on third base, and they stay on third base their whole life, thinking that they've got that on their own. That's reality. Some people are like that. You're not like that. You're concerned that you're being judged, which you are, for being put into this situation. Most of these people who are, you know, people on the earth because they have no purpose. You have a gigantic purpose here. Your purpose is to take what you were gifted and expand upon it.
Oh, I can definitely tell I'm stronger with that week off. I'll usually give it a little bit more time in between leg extension and the squats, but actually compress the time this time. And I was still able to go past my last max, which was 21 last time. You're like 22, 23 on that. I record this and I'm gonna go right into my singles. That shock and awe. And I would say that was pretty slow and deliberate. As long as you're flexing and contracting still, even if you're doing partials, dude, you still got time under tension there. So, you know, squeeze out everything you can. It'll be a little intimidating, but whenever you settle into like, okay, these are the ones, these last few that burn are the ones that produce growth, it can actually give you more of an excited feeling, like digging into it, pushing into it, and taking it for everything it's got. And quitting at muscular failure rather than mental failure is a difference too. Alright, I'm going to drop weight on this. Oh, Jesus. Throw 5 pounds on. You know, like I'll blast legs and be walking out of the gym like this. It's like, how fucking stupid does that look, man? It is what it is, but she looks dumb as fuck. It's like, whenever I see people come out of the gym like that, it's just like, what the fuck wouldn't we do to get big? What the fuck wouldn't we do to look cool? Or whatever, you know? It's like, it's kind of a dumb thing in a way. Go in here and move a bunch of steel. Oh, whatever. Alright, so we're going to go into the singles for quads. I start on my weak side, because it's my, well, because it's my weak side. But if I can get 10 or 15 with that side, whenever I get to my strong side, even though I might be able to do 12 or 15, I'm going to stop at the same reps that I did on my weak side, even out the symmetry, even out the strength, and get my body performing at the same level across the board. That's one way to do it. So
That's how you're gonna feel.
Oh, shit, man. Well, guys, this YouTube Q&A special.
oh shit. Oh my god.
This is why most people never get anywhere. Most people are incapable of picking a direction and going. They observe the possibilities. They get paralyzed by other possibilities. They refuse to move forward on other possibilities, and then time passes them by. So it's very important that you make a decision and you go down that path. You commit to that path with the mentality of having zero options. I don't have a choice but to see this through. Okay? If I don't see this through, I'm going to dig and ditch it. I say, well, if I don't do this, I'm going to dig and ditch it, so I better show up and get it done.
Oh. So I was 18 on that one. A couple assisted with the with my hand. Go over to this side here.
Start off the week with Q and AF because we're gonna get better this week, aren't we? So this is where you submit your questions and we give you the answers. Now you can submit your questions in 3 different ways.
Right.
The first way is,
Guys, email those questions into AskAndy@AndyFatella.com.
or you go on YouTube in the comment sections of the Q&A episodes and ask your question there, and we'll choose some for the show from there as well. If this is your first time listening, we got lots of new listeners listening. We have shows within the show. We don't just do Q&A all the time, all right? Tomorrow, you're going to hear CTI. That stands for Cruise the Internet. That's where we put internet topics from society information. We speculate on what's true. We speculate on what's not true. And then we talk about how we, to us, people, have to solve some of these problems going on in the world.
Mountainside, surrounded by fields.
Real talk's just short.
Oh, it's starting to get hot. A lot of bugs and gnats around, dude. I didn't even think about that whenever I built this gym out here. It ain't even into peak summer, not even close. And the bugs are already starting to heat up. But all right, so that was my brief and infrequent quad workout. But that was only 4 exercises. You'd be surprised, dude, if you start giving each exercise, go into failure in each exercise, and you start doing a quality, you'll be surprised at what kind of quantity you can cut out. And if you think about it, most people don't really know what stimulates growth. That's why they go into the, doing so many sets. If you realize what stimulates growth, it's going past what your body did last time into that red line. You only got to do that one time to stimulate growth. So if you realize the mechanics behind it and how you stimulate muscle growth, then you know when you've done it and you know when you haven't. And that's the quality over quantity thing. But anyways, I'll see you, I guess, tomorrow on day 11 of 75 hard. We'll do back probably.